Hi, my name is Charlotte Armitage, and I'm a business psychologist. Now, I know that we've all been hugely thrown by this COVID-19 situation, which has brought with it a lot of quite understandable anxiety, really, as none of us really know what's happening or what the implications of this are on our business. But importantly and fundamentally, this is going to cause an absolutely huge change to our routines, our lives, our daily structure, our physical and mental health. And with that comes a huge level of pressure to make sure that we can put the right things in place in order to keep functioning in a healthy and productive way. Now, I know that a lot of people are going to be working from home now. And for those of us who are used to working from home, we've learned how to create a structure and to maintain it and to keep to that. But actually, there is an art to working from home because the home is a place that is inextricably linked with peace, relaxation, fun, spending time with friends and family. It's not a place that's linked with being productive. And that's going to be a huge change in mindset for people. And with it, I expect there to be actually quite a significant psychological impact of working from home. So, not just the change of routine, but the lack of routine, being around your family for a long period of time, especially if you have to self isolate, learning how to work with children around you who are bursting in on you every 2 minutes, not having the freedom to do what you want, not having the social life that we had. I think there's actually a huge psychological implication to all of this that hasn't yet been thought about or considered. But really, all that we can do at the moment is do our best to look after our own mental health and well-being whilst we're going through this huge societal shift, this massive change which is just happening overnight, completely unexpected, and it's unusual for all of us. I don't think any of us have ever lived through something like this. So here are my top tips anyway for trying to make this transition as smooth and as easy as we possibly can. So, number one is set a routine. As soon as you go into self isolation, if you're well enough, of course, set a routine. But if you're unwell, look after yourself. But setting a routine, if you're in self isolation, your family are in self isolation, schools are closed, set a routine just straight away. It's going to be a completely different routine to what you're used to. But set it with your family, set it with your children. Say, okay, so things have changed. We're now going to have to be in the morning. We're going to get up. We're going to sit down. You're going to do your work and I'm going to do my work. Then we'll go and have some lunch together. Then in the afternoon, we might play a game. It depends on how old your children are. But if you've got young children at home, these are some of the things you're going to have to consider. Maybe working less during the day and saving your energy and try and work when you've put the children to bed. That's also an option. I mean, I've worked from home for years and years and years, and that my structure is like that. I had to learn to work late at night because I had a baby, basically, as I was building up my companies. So I'd do bits in the day and then learn that actually it was easier once I put her to bed to work on a night time. And I've actually fallen into that routine and I'm most productive in an evening now. Making sure that you're managing your anxiety levels. So you can do that by stopping looking at the news feed constantly, because actually the news feeds can be quite distressing. So maybe only check the news once a day if it's something that worries you. Getting outdoors. So obviously you can't go out and do all the things we wanted to do before, but you can go outside. One good thing that you can do is do different breathing exercises as well and different grounding exercises. So I'll probably do another video about grounding exercises and techniques because that's a whole other topic. Finding a new focus is a really good one as well. If you're going to be stuck at home and you're not sure how to work at home because you've never really done it before, think of something that you want to do. Look at doing an online course. You could think about painting the house, think about drawing something, but new focuses are going to be really important throughout this time because you're going to need something to. It'll be cathartic because it'll help to relieve your anxiety as well. So think about doing that. Communication is key. Make sure you are communicating with people. Use online systems and online tools. There's so many out there now. I've actually even organised to have a girls' night out, but obviously on one of these online platforms. So we'll sit together and have a cup of tea or a glass of wine. But it's a way of trying to make sure that we're not isolated whilst we're in isolation. And we're lucky that we're in this technological generation where we have access to all these amazing technological tools, so we can use those to keep in touch with our friends, and importantly, any elderly or vulnerable relatives who might be really isolated when they're at home, making sure that we're reaching out to them and having conversations, checking up on them, making sure they're all right. Communication, keeping in touch with people, that's going to be one of the biggest things that's going to get us through all of this. And just trying to be rational as well. I think when people are panicking, we're all panicking on some level, and I think everyone's going to experience a level of panic in relation to this situation at a different time. So it's going to hit us all at different times, and we'll all get that instant panic of, oh, my God, what's going on, and how do we manage it, and how do we cope? And ultimately that level of panic does stop us from thinking rationally and making the right decisions to help us adjust and adapt to this change. But it is, I've got to be honest, it's natural for us to feel anxious and worried and panicked about this situation, because panic comes out of fear and there's a really big sense of fear of the unknown, and obviously a threat to our lives and how we operate at the moment. Our companies, our families, our businesses, our jobs, everything's changing, and it's a really big change in a really short space of time. So it's natural to feel unsettled, and I think allowing ourselves to feel that way will help to reduce the panic and the anxiety a little bit. Just give yourself the space to feel that. If it's becoming overwhelming, then I would say you do need to practice some grounding techniques and some breathing techniques to try and bring yourself back out of that panic. But I don't think it's irrationally priced at the moment. Okay. Well, I hope that those tips do help. You can contact me via my website, which is www.charlottearmitage.co.uk, or the consultancy, which is www.yafta. That's YAFTA.org. And we offer support groups on the consultancy website for people in business, or people who are struggling with their mental health, or people in the film and TV industry who are worried about the impact of this on their careers. So you can have a little look at joining one of those. Those groups are really small, so they're quite a safe space for people to be open and honest about how they're feeling. And they'll be facilitated by myself as a business psychologist. So it gives you the space to talk about how you're feeling, hear from other people, have feedback. And then it's something that could be a regular occurrence with that group as well. So you've got support throughout this time. Okay, I hope you're staying well.